Hey guys, I'm Scarra here from theScore eSports here with FORG1VEN from H2K. The day after their pretty miraculous 4-0 run, you came in the first week, didn't do too hot. People were looking down a little bit on the European region. Second week you come in, you guys just slammed the day. What changed?
It was random. It was like a coin flip, in my opinion. I mean, we didn't have the best scrims coming into this game day, but there's a history like League of Legends. But because it's such a random game, that like if you have bad games coming into the week, it's actually more likely to play better than like stomping every scrim and coming into LCS and like thinking, oh, it's gonna be like scrims, and then you go 0-4.
Why is it so random? Is it because it's the format, best of ones, or do you think it's like the meta, or is it just completely random?
I think it's a bit of everything, and it also is the H2K random factor. But like we have displayed so many phases of performance, like from spring split to summer split, from week 9 and after in summer to like playoffs, and then like for example like in playoffs against Fnatic and Splyce and UL, we almost had 0 practice. Yeah, we played, I think, for example, against UL, because I'm totally sure about it, we played only 1 day out of 8 days or 7 days we had, and we actually won 3-1. When against week 9, for example, in summer split, I had 0 practice. Like, I literally flew flight, I don't know the English word, but like, I took a flight the day before, I came in and it went 5-0. So it's, you actually understand, like, I don't know if this should be able to happen, or I don't know if we're like the special team, but if you have reached the point that like a team is allowed without practice, just through sheer force or like through individual or like through the past or the history of the team itself, to go like a very good record and like stomp teams that are practicing or like doing whatever for all this time, then I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore.
That's really funny because I talked to Albus and they actually told me straight up they were playing WoW. Like the entire time before the games. They said that if you're going to not play or you're going to go on vacation, you should just at least do it well. Like you're at least playing something, you're focused on something else. I thought that was super funny, but it seemed like overall everyone had that happen at some time. So I guess in the end, like, do you think that there's anything that you could have done to make it less random as a team?
I mean, there is a common consensus that all the players on our team are individually really good. We also have shared a past in spring and after, and I think everyone knows, for example, how I play or how do I influence teams to play in a way, and also I know how my team tends to play, or like their tendencies, their flaws, their power. As a player, as a team, as a player, it's like, what are you gonna do? How do you help each other? How does each interact with each other? I don't know how to answer about it, but yeah, I can't be very specific on this. I'm sorry, like I don't know.
Let me ask you something else, maybe a little bit more specific, something that I don't usually do. I have a question for you. Do you think it's possible to be a good player if you don't practice as hard as other players?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, but this, I think League of Legends can tolerate you taking small breaks or like a lot of breaks, as long as you are naturally talented or you can understand the game by itself. The moment you stopped, you pick it again. Like for example, when I left, I'll speak only from my personal experience. Like when I left, like when I got kicked or left from CW, and I had like no team until next spring split. Like from summer didn't play 2014. I played Counter-Strike Global Offensive, like for 3 months or something. Like I reached Global Elite, and like when like SK suddenly said, Gary, like you don't wanna trial out? Like I went into trials of like 2 days of League of Legends, and I instantly got a spot in SK. Even like when I got kicked out of SK, I played like Heroes of the Storm for pretty much the entire time. Oh, not SK, after Gambit, like the entire summer leading to the H2K split. I played on Heroes of the Storm. When H2K needed carry for Indirect Master, like you wanna trial out for IM, and if you play good, you get signed for the LCS. Okay. We go into Dex Masters with 2 days of practice or less against Cloud9 or like other teams at like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I don't know. We kind of stomped them. And we almost won a Korean team that wanted cash backup. Like imagine what would happen if we had practice. And then like when I got kicked from H2K, I played Overwatch. Yeah. I got invited to like the Overwatch World Cup for Greek national team, and then H2K like suddenly like one day tell me that like his face hand injury is there's kind of point of no return, at least for a specific amount of time. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna bail out of Overwatch, I'm gonna play League again. And also this also happens because you can be naturally talented if you're lucky enough or like if you're smart enough. you cannot like for example I play a role that doesn't demand that much of training or like idea or like in general like preparation or like effort like 20 hours a day to play like solo queue replays or whatever. Like I don't do this. Like I will play like if I wake up and like I have my support together, like I'm gonna play 10 games of solo queue, let's say. But if he scrims, I'm gonna play like 2 or 3. Except some days where like I'm just gonna push my limits. Like I'm gonna get full tired and then I'm gonna play. And League as a game in general, it becomes less and less every year of like individuality in a way. So while you kind of have an obligation as a pro player to play, you actually don't have in a way too. It feels like it's not worth it. All the effort you're gonna put as an individual, in terms of like solo queue, in terms of mechanics, in terms of understanding the concepts of the game, the meta, the picks, whatever, it's gonna give you like 10% maximum, in my opinion, maybe a bit more percentage advantage. Nothing else.
I mean, you quoted right there. You've been on 3, 4 different teams.
Maybe for 5 teams.
So you've been on 5 separate teams since now. You've essentially crossed every single path in terms of like having different teammates. What do you really look for in a teammate then? Because I feel like after being on 5 different teams, you know exactly what qualities you want.
Skill level and a good, a healthy mindset or brain. Not like exactly like playing for the team as a team itself, but like being able to live with someone in a gaming house and not tolerating him or yourself, or like being able to have good practice sessions and like enjoying the time there, and while also obviously skill level. Like for example, when I joined Gambit, I didn't think anything else. Like I thought the team would be really good in terms of skill and in terms of in theory, but it didn't work out for various reasons. Which, in my opinion, didn't have to do with the team itself. It had to do more with like with the infrastructure of the team from outside and our coach back then, that actually kind of screwed us a bit. So I'll say this, and actually also like while I get to make choices which team I join, it's like it's kind of also a bit of luck, because like if I didn't hit the scale, like back then I didn't have a lot of offers. Like when I joined Gambit, I didn't want to go to another region. I wanted to be close to Greece. And so, like, if I want to be close to Greece, I could have went to Turkish LCS, which like is gonna be quite good experience. And like, for example, I would like to play on a foreign region at some point if I get opportunity, or like if I don't go to the army, etc. Like, it's gonna be Turkey, Brazil, China, Korea. I don't know. Life is life, so it's just a bit of luck in the end, inevitably.
Well, I mean, speaking of that part, then let me change the question a little bit. Is there someone out there you'd love to work with, whether it be a specific coach that you have a lot of respect for, specific player you have a lot of respect for, or just like specific team and their brand?
I mean, it's a tough question, but I surely have played like with a lot of great players in the past that they have kind of influenced my game or my perception of the game one way or another. Like I can quote, for example, in Rated, Freddy, Svensker in his good times. From CW, like amazing back then, it was really good. Now we don't have like a relationship anymore. Young Buck Unlimited, like you see like some of the people that like don't play anymore, but actually because like we were living together, we were experiencing the same things together, like we're sharing ideas or like ways to play the game that obviously I wouldn't think of if I was alone, if I wouldn't count their opinion. And so like they influenced me a lot, and not only us in terms of the game, but also outside of it. Because like when I joined, for example, Anubis, I never lived outside of Greece in my life anytime. Like I never lived like I lived like alone like since I was 18. But like not to this extent, like I'm going to a foreign city with different ethics, with different work idea, with different, like, for example, like, you can compare Greece to Germany. Like, not only in terms of like a way of life, but in terms of like, I would say like, it's more discipline. Like you have to work one way or another. Like, and I want to be like disrespectful, but like Greece has like a way more relaxed idea of things, while there are a lot of people that work. You're gonna go for a coffee, you know? Like in Germany, you're not gonna go. In Germany, like you're gonna go for work, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna work again in your off time. Maybe sometime in 2 days, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're gonna go outside once, let's say. So it's very disciplined and it's very different. So I get to experience a lot of different things, which kinda combined what I kinda am right now in a way, one way or another. So.
All right, you know what? We went a little bit off topic.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
drag.
sorry, I'm sorry.
No. It's not you. I'm gonna drag it a little bit back toward Worlds. You were able to play against already a lot of really talented bot laners. Like you played against Death and Mako, and afterwards you tweeted something that I thought was pretty funny, saying that they'd have multiple supports in the bot lane. What was your opinion on the other bot lanes in your group?
Well, I think INTC bot lane was not the best. I mean, they were okay, but they had a lot of weak points, and you could take advantage of them really hard. I think IHQ bot lane was kind of. I'm speaking only about lane phase, you know. I don't speak about teamfight because in teamfight, Beta is like pretty much a very general idea. You're gonna hit everyone that's gonna come to you, and if they don't, then you go forward. You're gonna do as much damage as you can, and if they want to kill you, okay, they will kill you, but you'll take them to death with you. So, and you're always gonna farm until you teamfight. That's very generic rule of AD. I think HQ bot lane wasn't the greatest either. Like we played like melee matchups against ranged matchups, and like they were putting numbers towards bot lane, and like they got like 30 to 40 CS behind, and they lost tower. EDG, I think they were good, but there is a big but. I think with how EDG are playing the game, it's really unhealthy. Not only for them. While I could actually understand because like the top laner is not, one can say that it's not the greatest player, but if he's not the greatest player, so don't you have to help him in a way? Don't you have to put some research, some numbers there, so that guy doesn't go 50 CS behind or whatever? I mean, and like for example, like EDG were putting so many numbers bot lane all these games, and we were trying to play like 50-50 or like 60-40 matchups for them, and they were still losing it with all this help. And like, yeah, like for example, I can say like the game against the second game played against EDG where like they had like Ezreal Nami against like Caitlyn Karma, and like the moment we started pressuring them, instantly like jungler there. The moment we start doing that again, instantly he comes to reset for them. And like the moment we pressure like Ezreal to go under tower, to get seeds, to lose his heal, etc. Oh, obviously clear all around and mid lane disappearing the fog of war, to like threaten that he's gonna come bot lane, and like top laner like taking positions to teleport. And it's like, okay, like I can play off limits, but would it be smart? It wouldn't be. So I kind of have to take defeat or like lose the lane gracefully, but in the end I kind of didn't. So I don't understand. Like, for example, like what's what I said in another guy when we were speaking about it, or like Ezreal didn't even build tier. I don't know if this says a lot. I mean, he finished Muramana in 30 minutes. I don't know, and how I don't know if he's in theory is healthy or good. And he built like he almost went for Triforce, let's say, and then he built Iceborne first item. Like he didn't even Muramana, he didn't build tier. He just tried to go for the lane and he failed. And not only that, but then he lost the impact, and then he surrendered pressured. He surrendered the kind of the map. Oh, and not only that, but like I mean, I can go become more negative and negative. For example, he taxed his mid lane so much that like his mid lane had 190 CS at 30 minutes, and my mid lane had 260. And he was going mid. He was taking jungle farm. He was taking mid farm. And this just to stay ahead, just to have a number to say like, okay, I'm good, you know, I did my best. If I lose, I had the numbers. So I can't be targeted that much. So I don't know. It's kind of a bit spicy what I say right now, but I think it's something that wasn't mentioned at all, and then I kind of avoided it in social media. But I think it's something that has to be told, because like when we play the next game and we play 2v2, and that guy just surrenders the lane because it's his 2v2, like, and he plays like favorable matchup kind of into us. And the moment he stops getting jungle pressure, like team pressure, he's done. So I don't know if, and also if you consider that they are supposedly the best bot lane in the world. So I don't know who is the wrong in this. Me, that I'm like, I like lane phase a lot, but I don't use it. I don't hurt my team because of it. Like I always, like I think it's pretty known, but like I'll take losing matchups gracefully. I don't care. Like if I lose, I lose. It's natural. It's acceptable. But if most of the times we will go even ahead.
You talked a little bit about like laning, and honestly, you're known as a very, very good laner. Like I always hear like FORG1VEN, Caitlyn, he lanes so well, almost 1v2's the lane. How important is it to you that a player lanes well? Like, can a pro player be a pro player without good laning?
I mean, in the past it used to be really good from the fact that like you could go into a team fight or a skirmish with +1 item. And you can understand how good it is. Like if you went like on a team fight with +50 AD, +40 AD, +30 AD, depends on what item you had. And if what guy if the enemy doesn't know how to make good rotations, how to work with his team, where to be, how to be, why to be there, then this advantage is gonna increase more and more and more. Especially if you're gonna be oppressive. If you're gonna use your advantage to make them bleed even harder, so they're gonna focus you even harder in team fights. So like, not only we withdraw pressure, but you actually increase the pressure over and over and over and over until a point that we're gonna do a mistake, and then you're just gonna push the button, and then it's over. So right now, I think it's kind of good, obviously with the first blood tower, but I kind of still think that reigning isn't what it was supposed to be. Like, I mean, it's good to be a hit, or it's good to be really good, but it's just a luxury, I would say, that way. So.
One last thing, you have your choice of opponents for the next match because you're the first seed. Who would you like to play against next round?
I have no preference. I will just prefer to play against a team that is a bigger brand than us. So we will be considered the underdogs because a lot of teams tend to crumble under pressure, to be honest. And like, if you're gonna win against us, okay, you won against us, okay, you won against the EU LCS. I mean, to me, like, because in my opinion, European LCS split was the weakest in terms of competition in the history of European LCS. And if we win, it's gonna be good for us. But imagine all the pressure that's gonna go to whoever player, like especially if it was a Western team, but for various reasons, not many teams qualified, or if not at all, except if Cloud9 qualified tomorrow. So I would just like to play against a team that we would be considered underdogs. Not because we're defeated or we have loser attitude, but solely because of the reasons I mentioned before.
Oh, we had quite a long interview. Do you have any last-minute comments you want to say to your fans? People who followed H2K throughout the entire season, ups, downs, Baron throws, all over the place.
Depends. Like, not really. Like, I would like to dedicate our qualification to my father Evangelos, who although wasn't supportive of what I did, my career choice, what I did when I was 4 or 5 years ago to be a pro player. Now he's really supportive, and I miss him, and I'm looking forward to meet him again. I mean, to live with him again, obviously. To my team, obviously, because I think most of them kind of played up to their expectations, at least the expectations that I had from them, because from split I was seeing that my team could be really good, but for various reasons, mostly outside of the game, psychologically, or in terms of like thinking about the game, or in general being professional, they kind of held themselves back, and yesterday it felt like they just let this go away, you know. So you could see like a very nice, a very beautiful edition of H2K playing the game, which was, at least for me, really nice to see. Not only for the replays, but like to be part of it. And other than that, I mean, I would like to throw my position out a little bit, because to me it was really curious that players from our team weren't considered as top 20 players coming into Worlds, and I would exclude myself from that. But I'm just gonna say that, like, I don't understand why Jankos wasn't in. I don't understand why Vander wasn't in, or Ryu. I really don't. I also don't understand how, when you are having kind of a tradition in Europe, like at least in terms of like skill level and difference between players, you're not even considered inside the best Western bot lanes, because I think this is a huge circle jerk, and it was proven yet again in this tournament. I mean, supposedly the best bot lane lost in the groups, they didn't do anything. The other best Western bot lane had really good Korean bot camp, didn't pay out. So that sucks for them too, but I think they will bounce back. I'm speaking about TMSM mostly in the second part. And everyone just wrote us off as like, oh, they have the Overwatch player, or like they have like the 24-year-old player that doesn't play the game anymore and just comes back, and the other guy that didn't have a good split. And while they forget that in spring we kinda butchered everyone, like in lane at least. So to me it's really surprising, and shows that not many people did research as they should, or at least people tend to rewrite history in terms of how they want history to be, not how it was. So it's really sad, but in the very end, that's the best part. Like, you get to actually remind people that you are still here, and that you are still one of the best, or at least one of the players that still have what it takes to be one of the best. So the best thing.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here with the AD carry of H2K. Hope that in the future he can rewrite history, like you said. I'm Scarra here from theScore eSports. You can find more content online or on our mobile app. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a nice day.